welcome to the library. It's really wonderful to have you all here. My name is John Szabo. I'm city librarian at the LA Public Library. And just want to thank everyone for joining us this afternoon here in the Koreatown Media Lab at our Pio Pico Koreatown Branch Library. We're very proud of this space. And I'm a little biased because I'm the city librarian, but I just think this is the perfect place to have an event like this and to talk about the Affordable Connectivity Program. And that's because the library is all about accessibility. And the library is providing technology to the community in a setting like this that really supports discovering, learning, and accessibility. And accessibility is absolutely what it's all about, and it's what today is all about. The Koreatown Media Lab and our other makerspace digital learning environment at Central Library, which is the Octavia Lab, proudly named after Octavia Butler, they are just superb examples of how the library evolves to meet community needs. And libraries do a great job of that. And digital equity and inclusion are topics that all of us in this room and certainly all of these speakers feel very, very passionate about. It's a topic we talk a lot about. And it seems like during the pandemic, a brighter light wonderfully has been shined on this issue. It is not a new issue to libraries. Libraries have been working to provide internet access and digital literacy skills and doing work in this space for over 30 years. We know, and everyone in this room certainly knows, that internet access is not a nice-to-do thing. It is a necessity, an essential. We were just talking, it's like water and electricity, really. It's a social determinant of health. And the LA Public Library and all of our 73 libraries are doing a lot of work in this space. All of our libraries are Wi-Fi hotspots. We have computers in all of our libraries. We have technology like the wonderful state-of-the-art technology here in this space, and instruction in how to use it for all Angelenos. And it's free. And this is technology that Angelenos might not be able to access otherwise. And now we are providing access to the internet at home through Tech2Go bundles, which are mobile Wi-Fi hotspots and laptops bundled together. And we're doing this thanks to our dear friends at the Federal Communications Commission through emergency connectivity funds. And we have thousands of these bundles in the community so that Angelenos can get this access. And I want to thank, I'll be introducing her in a moment, but the FCC Chairwoman and also our mayor, who in your former job supported the funding for that. So we're appreciative to that as well. And these bundles have proven to be incredibly popular. And it is providing access to not just a single person that checks them out, but the entire household, the entire family. Children can use them for homework. People can use them to search for jobs and all the other great things that access provides. And our work with digital equity and inclusion is not only about the hardware and the internet access, but at the library it's also about digital literacy through education, our Cybernaut program with trained computer aides to offer individuals help with all things online and digital. And we also provide content. There is no public library in North America that circulates more e-books, e-audiobooks, and films than the LA Public Library. This is a city of readers. And we are very, very proud of that. You can even get an online high school diploma from the LA Public Library. So we have a very, very robust digital presence. So I thank all of you very kind people for allowing me to plug the library shamelessly there with all of those things. And now I'd like to introduce someone who is an incredible champion for accessibility, equitable access, and certainly our libraries as well. Our mayor, Mayor Karen Bass.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's a wonderful afternoon when you get to have an event like this. And, you know, right now I have a little identity problem because I can speak about it from two directions, as our librarian mentioned. And Jessica and I were talking before about when this was up for debate in Washington, D.C., those of us from big cities had to educate our colleagues, because when we talked about the digital divide, or rather when they talked about the digital divide, they talked about it from the infrastructure perspective, and it was mainly a rural issue. And so those of us had to come together and say, well, you know what? I mean, I live in Los Angeles, second largest city in the country. We have Wi-Fi, but that does not mean people can access it. And I remember even being in D.C., where I lived in D.C., just 5 minutes from the Capitol. And in my apartment building, I would see young people gathered in the around the building who didn't live there, and it took me a while to realize that what they were doing was accessing the Wi-Fi. So to have a program like this in Los Angeles, I think that it's going to be great. I look forward to working with my wonderful colleague from the City Council, Heather Hutt, because, Councilwoman, it's great to have a program, but now we have the work to make sure that everyone knows that this program exists and to access it. And so I'm just very pleased to be here with our FCC Commission Chair, Jessica Rosenworcel, who is here to learn about what we are doing here to improve digital equity and all of the partners that have come together. So as part of the month-long campaign, Everyone On, with support from the FCC and partners like Microsoft and U.S. Bank, will train community organizations on how to get Angelenos enrolled in the FCC's Affordable Connectivity Program. So another great day in Los Angeles. A couple of hours ago, I was cutting a ribbon for some permanent supportive housing to get Angelenos housed. And then now we'll get them housed, we'll get them connected. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mayor Bass. Now I would like to introduce Councilmember Heather Hutt, who represents Council District 10.
Thank you, John. I want to start by thanking our wonderful Mayor, Karen Bass, for being here, but bringing her connections, that short reach, it's not a long reach, to Washington, D.C., to bringing in resources that we need right here in the 10th, and welcome you all to the 10th District. I also want to welcome and thank Communications FCC Chairwoman Jessica Rosenworcel, City Librarian John Szabo, and then our local managers, Janae Brown and Beth Feinberg, for your work here. I once upon a time worked at the big library downtown in the art department, and I know how important it is to open the minds of people in our community. And now to be in a library where we can also give them information on our superhighway and to give them access to jobs and give them access to education is so super important. And we saw that during the pandemic, really where the divide was, really where the access wasn't. And so I'm proud to be a partner in bringing access to people in our community, and we'll really push to make sure people know that this is available. Sometimes folks don't know how to ask, or they're in fear of asking. So we're just going to share with them that this is what's available. And I as a single mom of 3 boys, I raised them by myself, but I was looking for every resource possible, right? So we were at the library a lot. When my son got his first library card, he felt like he was the man, right? And so we got to make sure that that's still a constant. In this particular facility, I don't know if you noticed, but there are 3D printers here. And this is innovation that we're not seeing everywhere. So the library has an open mind about things to come and things that will be, and we just want to encourage people to come here to access it and to do better things in their life. I do want to just remind everybody what Martin Luther King said. He said, "It's not where you stand in a moment of convenience. It's not where we stand in a moment of comfort, but it's where we stand at a time of a challenge and a time of controversy." And that's what we've been through. And look where we're coming out at, giving people access and offering opportunities, offering equity. And with equity, we have power, and this is how we'll make a fair playing field in our city. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Council Member. Love that library story, too. That was wonderful. Indeed. Absolutely. Yay. Absolutely. It is a great pleasure for me now to introduce Jessica Rosenworcel, Chairwoman of the Federal Communications Commission. And again, thank you so much for your support of digital equity and for the work that libraries are doing.
So I always had a dream about coming to Los Angeles during Oscars week. It didn't really go like this. But I am very excited to be here. My name is Jessica Rosenworcel. I am the chairwoman of the Federal Communications Commission in Washington. Well, thank you for that. I am the first woman in our nation's history to lead the agency. But, well, it took 87 years. But it took 172 years to have a woman who's the mayor of Los Angeles. So that's some change, but the change that I want to speak about today, that we're all here to talk about, is how we close the digital divide. And we know we have a digital divide in this country because we all saw it during the pandemic. We saw those kids sitting in the parking lot trying to go to class. We saw people sitting outside of fast food restaurants just to pick up a signal to try to check in with colleagues at work or find out where they would get a vaccine. And we knew people who could not keep up with their telemedicine appointments because they just didn't have the bandwidth to visit with their healthcare providers. So we know lots of people are struggling to pay for gas, for groceries, and sometimes it's real hard to make sure that they can get online and stay online. So we did something new at the FCC last year. With the help of Congress, we set up the Affordable Connectivity Program, or as we call it, ACP. It is the largest broadband affordability effort in our nation's history. We've never had anything like it, but we've come to realize that broadband's not nice to have, it's need to have for everyone, everywhere. And this program makes available to every low-income household up to $30 a month to help them with their broadband bill. We have 1,400 providers nationwide who've signed up. And so what we want to do right now is get the word out. We have 16 million people nationwide, 16 million households that rely on the ACP. Right here in Los Angeles, we have 370,000. But by our account, there's 1.5 million in this city who qualify who have not signed up. And that's why this month-long effort to draw attention to this program is so important. It's an effort to make sure that we change the digital divide, get more people connected in more places in this city, and then use what we're doing here as a model for the rest of the country. And it's also important that you don't just hear from people in Washington, as charming as we are. We really want to make sure that people hear about this program from folks who are local. And tomorrow we're going to be announcing that we have more than $2 million in grants we're giving out to local organizations in Los Angeles to help with that effort, because we know that people are more likely to trust information they hear about in their own backyard, and we're going to put a new premium on making that happen. So I'm hopeful that this month of action is going to be a month of connection, and I really want to thank Mayor Bass for kicking it off and getting it started.
Thank you so much. Now please welcome Norma Fernandez, CEO of Everyone On, a national nonprofit working to eliminate the digital divide and also a partner of LA Public Library.
Thank you, John. It's such a pleasure to be with you all here today. I don't think it's a coincidence that it's Women's History Month, and with the exception of John, the amazing women up here that are leading very critical and addressing critical issues, including the digital divide. So a million thank yous to the chairwoman for leading this effort even before the pandemic, really speaking to the necessity around connectivity, devices, and digital skills training. Thank you so much for your advocacy, chairwoman. I'm Norma Fernandez. I'm the CEO of Everyone On. We're a national organization with roots here in Los Angeles when I was born and raised and educated, I like to say. say. We're an organization that has been focused on the digital divide well before the pandemic. We are all about including all communities, but in particular underserved communities that need access to affordable internet service, computers, and trainings. And I'm really excited that we're continuing to partner with the FCC, the mayor's office, and many others to continue to generate awareness around the Affordable Connectivity Program. I was conducting a few interviews right before this press event, and I was asked the question, is this a new program? It's not a new program. And so one of the reasons that we're here is because, as you heard the chairwoman explain, there's still many more households, millions of households, not just here in Los Angeles, but nationally, that need to know about this program so that they could save at least $30 a month, or at most $30 a month each month. So it's important that we get the word out. We know that it takes more than just a couple of organizations. It takes cross-sector partnerships really to drive awareness around this issue. So I'm here today actually specifically to share about two events that we at Everyone On, in partnership with other organizations, are hosting to generate this awareness, but most importantly, make sure that people are actually applying for the subsidy. It's a complicated process. We're not going to sugarcoat it. And so we're out here to not just get the word out, but provide one-on-one assistance to ensure people get through the application process, especially for those who may be first-time internet adopters. One of the events that we're hosting is for organizations. It's actually a training that we're going to be hosting on Wednesday, March 15th. It's going to be a virtual training, and we're going to be convening nonprofits, libraries, advocacy organizations, and others who are interested in learning about ACP. From 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., we will host this event, and we'll be talking about what ACP is, what the eligibility criteria are, and how to help community members sign up for it. We invite all organizations to visit our website, everyoneon.org, where you'll find more information about the event that we're hosting, virtual training event that we're hosting on March 15th from 2 to 4 o'clock. The other event that is as important is for folks that are potentially eligible for ACP. And on Monday, March 20th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. here in partnership with the Pio Pico Library in Koreatown, we're going to be hosting an enrollment event. So what that means is we're inviting organizations to help us get the word out so we could have folks here present and receive the one-on-one assistance with their application process. We will have staff on hand as well as librarians to help us with signing folks up for the subsidy. We want to make sure that they're taking advantage of it as soon as possible. So again, please join us here at the Pio Pico Library on Monday, March 20th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. to receive more information and support with your ACP application. To learn more, you could also visit our website, everyoneon.org, but for those who cannot get online, we encourage you to call us at 877-789-9889 to receive more information. If you don't mind, I'm going to repeat this information in Spanish, specifically the information about the enrollment event. El lunes 20 de marzo, la comunidad es bienvenida aquí a la biblioteca de Pio Pico en Koreatown para aprender más acerca del programa de descuento para Internet, o ACP, como se conoce por sus siglas en inglés. De 10 de la mañana a 1 de la tarde, nuestro equipo estará aquí para compartir más información sobre el programa. Y si es elegible, le ayudaremos a inscribirse en ACP para que reciba su descuento de hasta $30 hacia su bill mensual de Internet. También es elegible por un descuento de una vez de $100 hacia una computadora. Entonces les sugerimos que vengan a aprovechar de este programa para ver si son elegibles. Todos son muy bienvenidos, y en particular las familias o personas que no tengan Internet ahorita en su casa, o que tal vez ahorita nomás se estén conectando por medios de su teléfono celular. Los esperamos el lunes 20 de marzo de 10 de la mañana a 1 de la tarde en la biblioteca de Pio Pico en Koreatown. Para más información nos pueden llamar al 877-789-9889. Gracias. I forgot to mention, I just want to highlight how critical it is and beautiful that various organizations are really supporting this work. Again, we cannot do this alone, so I want to thank again the FCC, the City of LA, the Mayor's Office, the City Library, and also to our funders. Not only does it take partnerships and collaboration, it takes funding to do this work, to do outreach, to help people sign up, to get the word out. So we want to give a special shout out to US Bank and also to Microsoft. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Norman. Thank you for all the work you do, and that's a perfect segue because finally I'm delighted to introduce you to Jasmine Thomas, Senior Director of the Airband Initiative at Microsoft. Jasmine.
It's a pleasure to be here with you all here in Los Angeles. My name is Jasmine Thomas. I'm the Senior Director of Microsoft Airband Initiative. We're at Microsoft. We're built on a mission of enabling communities and people around the world to achieve more. And that more means access to technology, to fulfill their aspirations and to leverage it to also transform their communities. But we can't do that without affordable access to the internet. And it's so wonderful to work for an institution that is not just led with data, but also led with manpower and support for communities like Los Angeles, where we know the digital divide, Mayor, is real. And we've known it's been real for a while now and have been leaning in as an institution across the board to look at not just affordable access, partnering with internet service providers that are mission aligned, or with nonprofits who have the ability to gain that trust and credibility to provide digital skills for adoption, as well as position people for the careers that we know are critical for the future and need to represent the communities that we're trying to serve. So we're excited to be here, and it's a wonderful opportunity for Microsoft Airband Initiative, who's been around since 2017, to really lean in the last several years here in LA and to partner with you all to make affordable digital access a reality, not just for meaningful connectivity, but as a fundamental human right. So thank you so much for your time, and I'm looking forward to doing more, rolling up our sleeves and helping in any way that we can. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine. In closing, I'd like to thank all of our speakers and their staffs, and also acknowledge the following for their tremendous support of this team effort. The Mayor's Office of Budget and Innovation Technology team, Dr. Deborah Eduardo and her team at the LA County Office of Education, Para los Niños, Unite LA, Michelson 20MM Foundation, Lift LA, Starry Internet, and of course, the exceptional staff here at the LA Public Library. Thank you all very much.